Alright guys, now first we have the main man himself, Iron Man or Tony Stark, whatever you want to call him. Basically, I didn't know exactly what I should do to this figure. Like, I've never really worked hard on like an Iron Man custom before, like to put a lot of detail into it, and I wasn't altogether sure what to do. I didn't know if I should like sculpt some armor, and I decided not to. And the reason is that number one, I think that the detail on the Lego torso, there's more dust there, dang it, is really cool. I think that Lego did a good job on the design of the torso, and I didn't really want to sculpt it because with the clay I have, it's hard to make it look sleek and shiny, so I decided against sculpting. Well, actually, I did do a little sculpting on the shoulders to bulk them up a little bit because I thought that that would make it look a little bit more like an armor suit, and I actually like the way that it looks, so I did kind of sculpt on the shoulders a little bit. But that's the only sculpting that I did. The rest is all just detail painting, so basically you can see all of the details on the arms. They're basically just the gold and the silver going down. I like the way that this suit looks with the gold and the silver and all the blue like lights. I just think that that's a really cool design. So I tried as best I could to replicate it on both arms. So I think I painted this arm first. Yeah, I painted this arm first, and then I did the other one. Tried to look as close to it as possible. And I think I did a pretty good job. So yeah, no, it's a little hard to see, but you can see there's like a little blue right there. That's supposed to be a light. Another one, like you can see all the little blue things. That's supposed to be another one right there. And of course, it's the same on the other arm. Now with the shoulder pads is just kind of gold, then red, and then silver. Same on this arm. And really nothing, I didn't do too much on the back except for the helmet, which I did the black kind of lines and a little bit of gold right here. And I also did paint silver right here to go with the outfit because it's gold and silver, so there's some there. And I did paint the eyes blue. You can see that because I thought that that would be better than the white eyes that he did have. So yeah. Now the legs, I'm not sure if they're entirely accurate or not. I don't think they are. I think that Lego reused legs from an old Iron Man suit, but I thought that they worked well enough, so I decided to use them. Of course, I did paint detail of my own with some gold there and some silver, you can see, and of course some shoe details right there. There's some more silver on the inside of the leg, and then on the side of the leg, you can see here there's some lines and some gold, and another one of those little light things. Same on this side. Of course, so yeah, not too much detail on the legs, mostly on the arms, just with these gold sections that start in the front, they go to the side, and they just work their way to the back, and with the little silver parts. So I really like the way that the arms turned out. That's really the most work I did on this, was the arms. I think, yeah, I did. I painted a black eye for Iron Man in there, because he has one in the movie, I believe. Did I paint that on the right eye? Which eye is black in the movie? Anyway, so, yeah, but not too much done to this figure, but I still think that overall it looks really nice. And, yeah, so anyways, let's move on to the next figure. Alright, guys, War Machine was definitely an interesting figure to make, to say the least. This figure, I was just so not sure really what to do for him, like, because with the one that Lego gave us, it was black, and that's not how it is in the movie. It's gray in the movie, and so I was like, well, then I don't really know exactly what to do. So basically what I did, the only piece I used that was originally from like the Lego's design was the visor piece. So yeah, basically what I did was I took this piece that was the Batman armor suit from Batman vs Superman, the one that Lego used, and I decided to do some serious painting on it, and I think that it looks really nice. I feel like War Machine in the movie is a lot bulkier than Iron Man. Like, Iron Man's more sleek and War Machine's more like just big and bulky, so that's what I was going for, and I really like the way that it turned out. So basically what I did was I started by painting like the red arc reactor type thing, and then these black lines with the silver details going down, which I think look really, really nice. Again, just the bulkiness of it I think is really like accurate. So yeah, just really some black, and I did paint this tiny little white triangle detail, which was insanely hard to paint. So yeah, more silver down here, as well as on the legs, some silver there, and some silver on the shoes, more silver on the arms, and the helmets you can see in the back there. Just some crazy detail on this figure, and I'm really like stumbling for words to say, man. I thought this would be a lot easier. Of course, I did use these handcuff pieces for like the wrist guns because I wanted it to look even more bulky than it did. So yeah, there's some more silver on the sides of the legs here. Nothing really on the back here except for these details, and of course this gun. Oh, there's more detail right there. So yeah, basically I used like one of the this was like one of the Ultron, like, what's the word, like in the smallest Age of Ultron set, the one with like Iron Man and Ultron's like two goons or whatever you call them. I used the torso from that, and the arms from that as well. And even the legs, I just erased the detail that was on there. There's quite a bit of black detail down here that I painted, which you can see there. Just a lot of just various armor things down there with these two like thigh parts being silver. So yeah, and of course I like the silver going to the back. I think that looks really, really cool. There's some more silver that I painted right here as well. So yeah, now for the gun's pretty simplistic. This was actually a like Brick Arms sniper, and I cut the sniper bit off and the scope, and then I cut the handle off and glued it onto this lightsaber handle. And then I just put that in the clip on the back, and I think that looks really nice. I want to order a different gun, but I didn't have time. Again, time was just a serious like restraint. So yeah, now one of the hardest things to paint was this star with the wings on the side of his arm. That was ridiculously hard to paint. Mainly just because like the star shape is just kind of awkward to paint, but I finally got it done. I think that looks really nice. Now there's supposed to be like smaller stars around it, but I did not do that, so it's not the most accurate thing, but I still think that looks really nice. Now there's some, I don't know how well you can see that there, but you can see maybe right here, there, yeah, you can see it. There's some silver detail on his arm right there, like for the bicep. There's like a silver dots type thing, and then more silver on this side, same on this side as well. And now the wrist gun, this is like supposed to be the wrist gun part, which is silver, so yeah. And now the face inside I'm not going to show you because it's not really accurate because, again, I didn't have too many faces, brown faces that I could use. So yeah, but I think that's fine. Now you can see, move your arm, you can see the detail on the side, so it's basically the continuation of this silver part, and there's more down here, the lines continuing to the side. Again, these shoe bits that are silver, nothing too special on the back, as I said before. I did do this though, and these silver sections that go from the front. So yeah, I really like the way that this figure looks overall. I think that just, oh man, I just really like it. So I hope you guys like it too. You can let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. Alright guys, now this figure was a really fun one to make as well. Now, something I want to say is that I saw this photo originally, this reference, and if you look at the suit, it looks like part of it is gray. It really does. And so, I'll get rid of it. So I originally painted part of this outfit gray, and then I looked at like some set photos and realized it's not gray, it's all black. So, yeah, that was quite a big setback, but it wasn't too hard to fix. Anyways, that being said, I did change the Lego head. This is actually the face of Lois Lane from the Batman vs Superman set, which I painted the lips a different color. But I thought that this head worked really well with the hair, so that's why I used it. So yeah. Now for the body torso, now I painted all of this, which you probably could guess. Basically, I started with just... Oh, I'm not doing a tutorial. Man, my brain thought I was doing a tutorial. Yeah, there's quite a bit of detail and some more 3D pouches because I had to make more because I love making those. I even put some small ones on her wrists for like those little wrist taser things that she has. And of course, a 3D, move your arm, gun holster, of course, and one on this side as well. So that's two more. And now, one of my favorite things about this figure is these knee shin guard things that she has. I thought that these looked really cool when they were done with the little gray outline. I I just thought that the design just looks really cool to me, but you guys can let me know what you think. Quite a bit of detail on the legs with the straps here. 2 on this side, 1 on this side. Of course, this one, they're all holding on the gun holster. So, yeah, now the shin guard does continue to the side here. You can see that there. Same with this side. And the strap does continue as well. Doesn't continue to the back. I don't know why. So, yeah, and I did paint like light gray for her little wrist. I don't know what the right word is, but yeah, and then some silver going down like a seam here, and then 2 more going down this way. Of course, the skin showing here, and the Black Widow symbol right here. Of course, 2 silver lines, and again, more 3D pouches with just some like simple lines. There's some buckles on the pouches down here, and the gray lines do continue down to the leg here, which you can see. So that basically goes down and then it goes this way. So yeah, nothing really special on the back at all. And I did want to give her like her blue sticks, like the taser sticks. But again, time was a serious restraint, and I thought that that wasn't the most important detail to put on the figure. So yeah, but anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright guys, Vision. Now Vision was another one of those figures that I painted months ago. I actually got this the set with Vision in it for Christmas, and I painted it like right after that, so it wasn't too long ago, but it was still quite some time ago, back when I had some pretty clumpy paint. So yeah, but basically one of the biggest things I want to show is the cape, because that was one of my favorite things about the figure. And again, I painted this quite some time ago, so it's not perfectly even like I would have liked it to be, but I still think that it's pretty cool. It's a pretty twice. So yeah, and I did paint the details on the inside of the cape as well. Basically what I did for the torso was I kept the same color that Lego used, except that I took a darker green and kind of outlined a bit of the muscles and stuff like that, to give it a bit more detail. And I think that looks really nice. So you can see this darker green here is what I used, and of course I did add a lot of this pinkish purple type detail, like these here. I kind of redid this. I did the wrist guard things with that pinkish color, which doesn't match this perfectly, but I think that it's close enough. The boots I did with the same color, of course, more green detail and outlining. Most of the work went to the head. I took that green color, painted the chin part, and then of course the sides, which was insanely hard. And I think it did a pretty good job for back then, when I wasn't as good at painting as I am now. I think I've improved quite a bit. Man, there are some serious sirens outside. I don't know if you hear those. So yeah, and then just more of the continuation of the green on the back, and of course, you know, the whole top of the head is done except for the inside there. Come on, stay on the stand. So yeah, not too much to say for him, just because I didn't do that much aside from the details on the head and that sort of thing. But I still think that's really cool, and I really like the character in the movies. I think that he's just a really awesome character in the movies. So yeah, and I'll probably update this in the future, but for right now, this is the Vision that I have. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright guys, now this was a figure that I was looking forward to a lot, because I was just really looking forward to making this figure, just with all the various details and stuff like that. And it's a little hard to see because I used my little flat black on gloss black technique. You can see that pretty well there. You can see that there's like these other black colored lines here, which I think look really nice. One of my favorite things about this figure is definitely the necklace type thing that he has. I just think that it looks really cool. And there was a lot of different reference photos, so I'm not sure if the lines, like the black ones, are completely and totally accurate. They're probably not, but that's okay, because I still think that they look really nice on the actual figure. Again, they are a bit hard to see on camera. They're a lot easier to see in person. So yeah, but basically there's not... Now, one thing that I didn't like with Lego's torso was that there was too much silver. I thought there was way too much silver. It didn't look like there was nearly that much in the film, and that's why I didn't do that much silver. There's quite a bit on the helmet, but not on the actual torso. But yeah, anyways, so just some pretty simple black lines on the torso here. There's some more down here, which are a little harder to see. Then there's just some simple silver details. I'm not sure exactly what they're for, but yeah, there is even some lines right there you can see on the arms, right here. It's not the best angle. There you go. You can see the more black lines on the arms with the silver wrist. Whatchamacallit. the silver wrist whatchamacallit. And it did paint the claws on his hands as well. You can see there's 4 there, and there's one on the other side for like his thumb. So yeah, pretty cool. And of course the silver does continue all the way around the arm there. In the back detail, now I realize now that this isn't accurate. The way that I painted this necklace thing isn't accurate, but I will fix that in the future. At least I think it's not accurate. And more black line details on the back. Again, I wasn't altogether sure what to do, so like I kind of I did actually base this off a reference photo, but I can't find that photo now. So yeah, again, it might not be completely accurate. If not, that's fine. I'll update it in the future. And of course, the arm. This arm is the same as the other one. 2 black lines with the silver here and the claws. Now, the helmet part, I really wanted to sculpt a helmet from scratch, but I didn't have time. Like, I might have been able to pull it off, to be honest. I'm not altogether sure if my sculpting skills are that good yet. I didn't want to do what Lego did with the head and the weird little headpiece thing. I mean, it's alright, but I just didn't want to do it. But I thought that this helmet, the Batman one, because that's obviously what this is, might be a bit bulky. But again, it really is the best solution right now, just because I didn't really have time to sculpt one, and I wasn't going to do what Lego did, so this is really the best option for the helmet. And I think that it looks alright. It's just a bit big. And I think it looks really cool from the side. So yeah, basically what I did was I started by filling in the mouth with clay, because, you know, that was inaccurate. So yeah, and then I painted the eyes silver, you can see that, and then the silver details on the side, which continue up to here. Same with this side. And simple lines under the eyes here. And more details going up, so you can see the silver line that goes up and it goes all the way to the top. This line, which starts here, goes over the eye, up, and then all the way to the ear, and then it even goes all the way back down to here. So yeah, same on the other side as well. And I think the helmet looks really, really cool, and I really like the way that it turned out. And then there's 2 lines back here, just the simple kind of lines going down to here, and same on this side. And then this one that goes all the way up to behind the ear there. So yeah, and then there's like 1 line down the middle right there. Wow. Butterfingers. So yeah, pretty simplistic. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. The hardest part was like when I'm painting the black on black. That's what I call it. Because like when I first start with the torso, it's pretty shiny. But when I first paint the black paint, like the flat black, I can't actually see it. Like, it's almost impossible to see on the torso, so I have to wait till it dries in order to see where I've painted. Yeah, now there is more detail down here. You can see the boots are the flat black, and there are some more lines right here, just some 2 triangle lines right here. So yeah, not really much on the back. The boots do continue to the back. Or not much on the back of the legs anyway. There's quite a bit here. So yeah, this is a pretty complex figure, but still one of my favorites in the showcase, and I hope that you guys like it as well. And yeah, so anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. Alright guys, now Spider-Man. I am so excited to see him in the Civil War movie. It's just going to be amazing. But at first I thought I wasn't going to be doing this figure for the showcase. Because, like, I mean, I'd heard that Spider-Man was in it, but I really thought that they were going to, like, keep that a secret, like, not really show him until the movie. But no, then they went and showed him in the trailer, and then everyone was freaking out about it, so I'm like, oh, well, now I have to make that. And this was definitely, probably the hardest figure in the showcase, I'm going to say, is definitely one of the ones I had to do the most work to, just because these lines are so dang small. But I think that it came out really, really well. So I didn't really have a Spider-Man to like use as the base. Like most people were using the Lego Spider-Man head, which I didn't actually have. So basically I took like just a red head and erased the detail. This was not a Spider-Man head originally, and I just had to paint it myself. So the eye details and all the webbing was just really tedious to paint. Now the back is not accurate. I know it's not accurate. This was actually this was like one of the old Spider-Man torsos, like the first Lego Spider-Man that they made. This was the torso from that, which I had to completely repaint the front, but the back I left. Now I know that this isn't accurate. I've actually seen the back of Spider-Man, and this isn't accurate, but again, time was a huge restriction. So this is the back for now, which, doesn't look too bad. But yeah, so quite a bit of work. So basically I had to erase the entire front of the torso because it wasn't accurate. Like, it had silver webbing and not black webbing and that sort of thing. So basically, first thing I really wanted to do was the face. So I got the head done with the eyes and the webbing on the eyes. Now this isn't the best because I'd never tried webbing before, so I'll probably update this in the future and make it look a bit better. But the torso I think looks really nice. So just a lot of webbing, and this spider was actually not that hard to paint, to be honest. I mean, I thought it'd be a lot harder, but I think that it looks really, really nice. I thought, I thought it'd be really hard to distinguish it from the webs, but again, I think that it actually came out really, really well. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. Pretty simplistic leg details, just blue legs with some light blue there, and of course the boots with the black detailing and the webbing and that sort of thing. Of course, that does go all the way around the figure. Of course, the blue sections here, not too much detail there, just some light blue outlines here. And of course, the black lining that goes across and down. Same on this side with the little belt notch things that he has. I'm not sure exactly what those are for, but yeah. And the arms I thought looked really cool in the movie. I thought that the arm design was really nice. So the webbing with the black arm sections, same on this side. I think this arm actually came out a little bit better. So yeah, and he has like a little black around his wrist and that sort of thing. So I think that the design of the outfit's really cool. And of course I did do some webbing on the back as well, and the back of the arm details. Well, they're actually pretty uneven. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, and of course the continuation of the belt on the back. Yeah, so this figure took a long time just because of all the little tiny tedious lines and stuff like that. I had to it took me a couple tries to get the torso. It was actually harder to paint the head webbing than it was the torso. But I still think that overall the figure looks really, really nice, and I'm super excited to see him in Civil War. So I hope you guys like this figure. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, let's move on to the last figure in the showcase. Alright guys, and the last figure in the showcase is Crossbones. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Lego Freak, Crossbones isn't really on anyone's team, and I know that Crossbones isn't really on Team Cap or Team Iron Man, but I just decided to put him at the end because he's really not on anybody's team. So I really like the way that this figure turned out as well. Like, I think I said that about all of these. So anyways, now I did do this figure originally, I painted it and everything a long time ago, and I was like, oh, it looks really, really nice. And then of course my painting improved, and I went back and looked at it, and I'm like, it could use some improvement. So of course I did that. And basically the improvements are there are a few things. Like, number one, with the wrist things, there are supposed to be some poles, like some little I'm not sure what the word is, like little connections between them, which I didn't do, and the reason for that is I wanted to be able to take these off to actually put a gun and stuff in his hands, so that's why I didn't connect them with anything. So yeah, that's the reason that I didn't do that. Like, on my original version, I had glued little pieces. I believe they were pieces of paper clips from this one to this one, which looked cool, but it couldn't take these off, and it was pretty fragile, so that's why I decided not to. And then also I noticed something, looking at the reference photo, which I'll put here. His pants are not actually black, but dark brown, if you can see that there, which was weird because at first I painted his pants brown, or black, and then I'm like, oh wait, they're actually brown. So, and they're very dark brown, so you can, in fact, it's kind of hard to see here, but you can see that they are brown. And so basically what I did was I just took these dark brown Lego legs, and there was some print on them because I believe they were from The Hobbit or something, and I erased the print. Then I did little black, it's a little hard to see, but I did do some camo on there, some little black camo patterns. And then of course I did paint the little knee pads here and the shin guards, and then of course I outlined the knee pad with gray and did these little lines here that he has on his shin guards, which I think look really, really nice. And of course the shoe details as well in light gray. 2 straps here with little buckles, which go to, you guessed it, a 3D gun holster. I just had to make so many for this, with just a little gray line as detail. And there are 2, really hard to see, at least for me looking through the camera, but there are 2 gray lines that kind of hold on as shin guards, 2 on this side as well. There's no gun holster on this side because I don't think there was one in the movie. And more camo you can see continues to the side. I think you can see that. So yeah, now for the wrist things, I realized that there were some brown straps. Like I saw that there were some brown straps going across, so I just painted those. So you can see the brown straps just kind of crisscrossing on this one, and on this one they just sort of go across like normal, just to give a little variation there. There was 2 like gun clips on his arms here, which I'd made out of the same plastic material that I made the gun holsters with. So yeah, you can see those there. And then on this side he has like 3 little, not 3, but in the movie he has a bunch of these little cylinders. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I just put 3 on here because I wasn't going to put like 8 or 9 like he has in the film. So yeah, now you can see the front of these wrist things here. They just have some black lines. Now something I want to say, with my original wrist, like whatever these things are on his hands, they were a lot better, but I actually lost them. Like I had painted this part before and they looked really nice, and I actually lost them like a couple days ago, and again, time was just wearing on me, so I had to repaint these, and they're not as good as the old ones. So I will update these little wrist hand things in the future. But yeah, I actually lost them, so that was a huge setback for that. But anyways, moving on. So basically, you can see here the little X that I painted, which looks really dirty, as it's supposed to. And of course, his helmet, which I sculpted, and I really liked the job that I did. This was actually one of my very first ever sculpts. Like, this is one of the first things I ever sculpted out of clay. And I think that it came out really nice. It looked really stupid before, and then I painted it, and it looked much better. So that's nice. But yeah, so a lot of cool, like, I like the way that his mask looks in the film, with the kind of the skull pattern just kind of messily painted on there. I really like it. And of course you can see his eyes through there, and I did paint a little bit of like scarring around his eyes, which is a little hard to see through the camera. But yeah, now for the vest, I used actually a Creo vest, which is like an off-brand of Lego, and I cut off the bottom portion of the vest, and I kept these 2 little pockets, and I took some of that plastic material and I put this in there. That's a little hard to see, but this is actually a piece of plastic with 3 kind of sections on it for like those 3 little things that he has. I'm not sure what they are. Again, they're like 3 little pouches. And again, I can't really show you, but that is like another piece of plastic, same that I used to make all the gun holsters. So yeah, and then there's 2 straps here, like little buckles, so just gray with these light gray little buckles. So pretty simplistic to paint, just kind of a square or a rectangle more like, and then just that little shape on the end for the buckle. Not too much on the back. In fact, there's like nothing on the back at all except the continuation of the vest. Oh, and the strap from the leg, from these straps continuing to the side. So yeah, that about does it for the last figure in the showcase. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video.